The world is witnessing a seismic shift in economic power. This shift is not just a minor adjustment, but a fundamental change in the way global economics are structured and perceived. The traditional powerhouses are no longer the sole players on the global stage. Gone are the days of unipolar dominance. The era where one or two nations dictated the terms of global trade and finance is fading. Instead, we are moving towards a more balanced distribution of economic influence. Today, emerging economies are taking center stage. These nations are not just participating in the global economy, they are driving it forward with innovation, growth, and resilience. The BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, are at the forefront of this transformation. Each of these countries brings unique strengths and perspectives to the table, making their collective influence even more significant. They represent a formidable force accounting for a significant portion of global GDP and population. Their combined economic output and demographic weight make them key players in the global arena. These nations are united by their shared goal of reforming the global financial system. They seek to create a system that is more inclusive and reflective of the current global economic realities. They seek a more equitable and multipolar world order. This vision includes fairer trade practices, more balanced economic policies, and a greater voice for developing nations and international financial institutions.
The BRICS nations are united by their shared challenges. Despite their diverse cultures and histories, they face similar issues that require collective action and cooperation. They have all experienced rapid economic growth. This growth has transformed their societies, creating new opportunities and lifting millions out of poverty. This has lifted millions out of poverty. Improved living standards, better education, and enhanced healthcare are some of the tangible benefits seen across these nations. However, they also face common obstacles. Rapid growth has brought its own set of challenges, including environmental degradation and social inequality. These include income inequality and climate change. Addressing these issues is crucial for sustainable development and long-term prosperity. The BRICS are determined to leverage their collective strength to address these issues. Through collaboration and shared initiatives, they aim to find innovative solutions to these pressing problems. They aim to create a more sustainable and inclusive future for their citizens. This involves investing in renewable energy, promoting social equity, and ensuring economic opportunities for all.
The rise of the BRICS has not gone unnoticed. Media outlets and analysts around the world are closely monitoring their progress and the implications for global dynamics. The established powers, led by the United States, are feeling the pressure. The traditional economic leaders are now facing competition from these emerging giants. This has led to increased geopolitical tensions. The shifting balance of power is causing friction and uncertainty in international relations. Trade disputes and economic sanctions have become commonplace. These measures are often seen as attempts to curb the influence and growth of the BRICS nations. The BRICS nations see these actions as attempts to stifle their growth. They are aware of the challenges posed by these external pressures but remain resolute in their ambitions. They are determined to chart their own course. By developing independent strategies and strengthening intra-BRICS cooperation, they aim to mitigate the impact of external challenges.
The BRICS nations are not seeking confrontation. Their goal is not to create conflict, but to ensure their rightful place in the global order. They are committed to dialogue and cooperation. Through diplomatic efforts and international partnerships, they seek to build a more harmonious global community. However, they are also prepared to defend their interests. While they prefer peaceful negotiations, they are ready to stand firm on issues that affect their national sovereignty and economic well-being. The world is entering a new era of multipolarity. This new phase is characterized by multiple centers of power, each contributing to and shaping the global landscape. How this plays out will have profound implications for the global economy. The interactions between these diverse economic powers will determine the future trajectory of global trade, investment, and development. The BRICS nations are determined to be key players in shaping this new world order. Their collective vision and efforts will be instrumental in defining the economic and political contours of the 21st century.
The global trade landscape is undergoing a period of significant turbulence. The interconnected nature of our world economy means that changes in one region can have far-reaching impacts across the globe. Economists are closely monitoring these shifts, analyzing data, and predicting potential outcomes. The United States, under recent administrations, has adopted protectionist policies. These policies are aimed at safeguarding domestic industries and reducing trade deficits. However, they have also led to increased tensions with other nations. This has led to trade tensions with major economies, including the BRICS nations. negotiations have become more complex, with each side trying to protect its own interests while seeking common ground. Tariffs, often used as a bargaining chip, have disrupted global supply chains. The imposition of tariffs has led to increased costs for businesses and consumers alike, causing delays and shortages in various industries. This has created uncertainty in the international market. Investors are wary, and stock markets have experienced significant volatility as they react to the latest developments in trade policies.
The BRICS nations have found themselves directly in the crosshairs of these trade disputes. Protests and public outcry have become more common as citizens feel the impact of these policies on their daily lives. The United States has imposed tariffs on goods from China. This move has affected a wide range of products, from consumer electronics to industrial machinery. This has impacted sectors ranging from electronics to agriculture. Factories have had to adjust their production schedules, and farmers are facing new challenges in exporting their goods. Russia has also faced sanctions. These sanctions have targeted key industries and individuals, further straining the country's economy. These restrict its access to international financial markets. The sanctions have made it difficult for Russian businesses to secure funding and conduct transactions with foreign partners. These actions have had a ripple effect on other BRICS economies. Countries like Brazil, India, and South Africa are feeling the pressure as their trade relationships are affected.
These trade tensions have exposed the vulnerabilities of the current global trading system. Economists are highlighting the need for more robust and adaptable frameworks to handle such disruptions. The reliance on the US dollar, the dominant currency for international transactions, has become a point of contention. Many countries are questioning whether this dependency is sustainable in the long term. The BRICS nations have long advocated for a more diversified global financial system. They argue that a multipolar financial world would be more stable and equitable. The current trade wars have added urgency to this call. The need for alternative financial systems and currencies has never been more apparent.
The BRICS nations are responding to these challenges with a spirit of resilience and innovation. They are exploring new ways to collaborate and support each other economically. They are strengthening their economic ties with each other. New trade agreements and partnerships are being forged to reduce dependency on traditional markets. They are also exploring alternative financial mechanisms. These include developing their own payment systems and financial institutions to bypass existing constraints. This includes reducing their dependence on the US dollar. By diversifying their currency reserves, they aim to mitigate the risks associated with a single dominant currency. The goal is to create a more resilient and equitable global trading system, one that can withstand shocks and provide fair opportunities for all nations involved, one that is less susceptible to the whims of a single nation. The hope is that through cooperation and innovation, a new era of global trade can be ushered in, benefiting economies worldwide.
The US dollar has reigned supreme as the world's reserve currency for decades. Its dominance has been a cornerstone of global finance, providing stability and liquidity to international markets. The greenback's influence extends far and wide, impacting economies and financial systems across the globe. However, its dominance is being challenged. In recent years, there has been a growing movement among various nations to reduce their dependence on the US dollar. This shift is driven by a combination of geopolitical, economic, and strategic factors. This is particularly true in the context of rising trade tensions. The ongoing economic conflicts between major powers have highlighted the vulnerabilities associated with relying too heavily on a single currency for international trade and finance. The BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, are leading the charge towards de-dollarization. These emerging economies are seeking to establish a more balanced and multipolar financial system. This involves reducing their reliance on the US dollar in international trade and finance. By doing so, they aim to enhance their economic sovereignty and reduce their exposure to external shocks.
De-dollarization is a complex and multifaceted process. It requires a coordinated effort across various sectors of the economy, including trade, finance, and monetary policy. It involves shifting away from using the US dollar in several key areas. These areas include international trade settlements, where countries agree to use alternative currencies for their transactions. Additionally, it encompasses foreign exchange reserves and debt issuance. By diversifying their reserves and issuing debt in multiple currencies, countries can mitigate the risks associated with currency fluctuations. The BRICS nations are exploring various mechanisms to achieve this. They are engaging in high-level discussions and formulating strategies to promote the use of their own currencies in global trade. One approach is to promote the use of their own currencies in bilateral trade. This involves negotiating agreements that facilitate the direct exchange of goods and services without relying on the US dollar. For instance, China and Russia are increasingly settling their trade deals in yuan and rubles, respectively. This not only strengthens their economic ties, but also reduces their dependence on the US dollar. This reduces their exposure to fluctuations in the US dollar exchange rate. By using their own currencies, they can better manage financial risks and maintain greater control over their economic policies. It also diminishes the influence of US monetary policy on their economies. With less reliance on the dollar, these countries can pursue more independent and tailored monetary policies.
Another strategy is to diversify their foreign exchange reserves. Central banks are increasingly looking to hold a broader range of assets to enhance their financial stability. Traditionally, central banks have held a significant portion of their reserves in US dollar-denominated assets, such as US Treasury bonds. These assets have been considered safe and liquid, making them a preferred choice for reserve holdings. However, the BRICS nations are now diversifying into other assets. They are seeking to build more resilient and diversified portfolios that can better withstand global economic uncertainties. This includes gold, euros, and even cryptocurrencies. By holding a mix of traditional and digital assets, they aim to reduce their dependence on the US dollar and enhance their financial security. This reduces their dependence on the US dollar and mitigates risks associated with holding a single currency. A diversified reserve portfolio can provide a buffer against economic shocks and contribute to greater financial stability in the long run. As the BRICS nations explore ways to reduce their reliance on the US dollar, cryptocurrencies have emerged as a potential alternative. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other digital currencies offer a decentralized and potentially more equitable financial system. Unlike traditional currencies, cryptocurrencies are not controlled by any single government or institution. This makes them immune to the kind of geopolitical manipulation that has characterized recent trade wars.
The decentralized nature of cryptocurrencies makes them particularly appealing to the BRICS nations. These countries have often expressed concerns about the dominance of Western-led financial institutions. Cryptocurrencies offer a way to bypass these institutions and create a more level playing field for emerging economies. Moreover, the underlying technology of cryptocurrencies, blockchain, holds immense potential for transforming various sectors. Blockchain can facilitate faster and more secure cross-border payments. It can also improve transparency and traceability in supply chains. This is particularly relevant for the BRICS nations, which are seeking to enhance their trade relations and reduce corruption.